Hello Power Rangers Lightning Collection fans, and welcome back to Lightning Storm, the series where lightning always strikes twice as we talk about everything that has happened in the past week for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. And after a week since the last Fan First Friday, usually we wouldn't really have that many things to talk about, after a Fan First Friday event like that. But leading up to Power Month here, and just in the overall climate of summertime during Lightning Collection stuff, we actually have some stuff to discuss here. Not like a ton, but we still have a good amount to fill an episode. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. So kicking off today's episode, I wanted to talk about something that actually happened last week, but I just didn't really cover it during the whole Fan First Friday recap because it was mentioned, but it wasn't like the primary focus of it, and that is Hasbro Pulse Con 2021. So Hasbro Pulse Con, which was an event that was first held last year to kind of be Hasbro's replacement for San Diego Comic-Con, since that got canceled due to the pandemic and everything like that. But they had still manufactured exclusives for the event, and now they needed a place to sell them and do all their reveals, and that's what Pulse Con was last year. So that was kind of the big major event of Power Rangers news, kind of kicking off the fall, We had, as of still today, the most amount of Lightning Collection reveals in one day during that event. We saw Monsters and Versus Packs Wave 1, Wave 7, and the Metallic Armor Pink, and the Spectrums for Wave 7 at that event. So it was a pretty big one for Lightning Collection stuff, and it's going to be happening again this year. So they announced that Pulse Con is coming back this fall. They didn't give specific dates, but since last year's took place in September, I feel like that's probably a pretty safe bet on when to expect it, especially because, we're in the middle of July right now. Obviously it's not happening in July. August is this whole Power Month thing for Power Rangers, and so I don't think we're going to get, anything besides Power Month stuff in the month of August, so it does just make the most logical sense for PulseCon to happen in September once, we've had their whole thing and everything like that. However, what's definitely interesting is that now we do know for sure we're getting a ton of Lightning Collection reveals in August because of Power Month, but they also did confirm during the Fan First Friday that the Hasbro Power Rangers team is obviously going to be a part of PulseCon, in which I'm assuming we'll definitely get some Lightning Collection reveals, although I would imagine that due to the fact Power Month is coming right before it, this will probably have less reveals than last year's event, but you would think for this big collector event thing that Hasbro's putting together that they would want to save some of it for PulseCon. So we could still have a pretty lengthy PulseCon, but I just think that with Power Month happening, it will probably take most of the focus. Now, while we can't really talk much about PulseCon just yet because we don't know when exactly it's happening or what exactly to expect there, we'll probably have a better idea of what to expect after Power Month reveals are over. But one thing we can definitely count on is there will be a Lightning Collection exclusive of some kind for the event. So, just like last year, we got Lord Draken Evolution 3, which was supposed to be originally, and he was coded as, an exclusive for SDCC 2020, if that actually ended up happening. And then, of course, when it didn't, they just pushed all of their intended exclusives over to PulseCon, and they're already doing that again. We've already seen leaked photos of the G.I. Joe one. We've seen, as of the time of this recording, leaked photos of the Star Wars ones. They might have already been announced at this point. And we had an official announcement of the Marvel ones. So we don't know anything about what the Power Rangers one is going to be yet. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It's possible it's a code that we already have, but my only guess on that would be the Fan Boom Shredder that has appeared with the currently missing in action TMNT 2-packs that everyone is waiting for. So the Shredder figure could be that, but then again, since he was listed on a distributor website, that probably wouldn't have San Diego Comic-Con exclusives listed on it, or PulseCon exclusives. I don't know if he would be yet. So as of right now, I feel like it's either him, or it's a code that we have, we just haven't put it together yet, that it's in a convention exclusive, or, obviously, I think, honestly, the better option here is we don't know. We don't have a code, we don't have any of that stuff. So we'll see what happens with that. Maybe something will get found. Probably will. Especially if, two of the other brands that I mentioned so far have already had theirs leak out. I would imagine Power Rangers is probably going to leak out at some point sooner rather than later. So, of course, stay tuned. Lightning Fig PR here. Any place I'm at, I will, if I find anything or someone posts something about it, of course, I will share it around. But yeah, expect a Lightning Collection exclusive of some kind for Pulse Con, and we'll just see what happens with it. So, but speaking of where things could pop up early, remember Justin Hunts from last summer? Well, they are back again and at it just as usual. So last summer, Justin Hunts was pretty classic here on Lightning Storm. So they are a Malaysian store that somehow got basically the first place in the world to release a number of the Lightning Collection releases from last summer. They leaked the Psycho 5-pack. They were the first store to get that. They leaked the entirety of Dino Thunder White. We hadn't even seen any pictures of that before that happened. But they also got a bunch of things early. And this has happened yet again. So this happened last week, right before the Fan First Friday as well. But I didn't get time to cover it then, but I figured it makes sense to cover it now, especially because there's a video review of it out. And that is the Pink Ranger Morpher. So the Pink Ranger Morpher that was announced during the June 11th Fan First Friday Pioneers in Pink event is out now. So, well, it's out in Malaysia and is also out via in-demand toys in the UK. So the Pink Ranger Morpher is now the next, finally something in the collection comes out. We have had a million announcements, hundreds and hundreds of dollars of pre-orders of stuff announced, and like nothing was coming out. Between like this entire year, we've had Wave 8 and then Wave 9, and then just a bunch of stuff on the horizon. But finally, something gets released, and it had to be the Pink Ranger Morpher, the thing I'm the absolute least excited about, besides maybe Cell Shaded Pink. But I digress. It's out, and it's a toy. So we have our first video review of it out so that we can kind of get a better look at it. One thing I want to point out is the fact that we had saw in the description on Hasbro Pulse that it was going to come with these milk tabs that you could put on the PowerPoint stand instead of the other 4 PowerPoints if you just want it to be all Pink Ranger related. And basically, the Pink Ranger's back, but in Pog form, but she's not because we'll get to that. But the Pogs, basically, is what they are. They're just random pictures of the Pink Ranger. They didn't show these off during the Fan First Friday. We just saw that they were part of it in the description. And I mean, I get what they're going for on this, but it just kind of looks cheap. But I might display it like that because I think I do kind of like it better like that than with the other 4 PowerPoints, but we'll just wait and see. But going on to the actual toy itself, so, we heard it briefly in the Fan First Friday, but listening to it in this video review here, I don't know who that is, but it's not Kimberly and it's not Catherine, so some girl's voice is coming out of that toy. It's supposed to be implying to try to be Kimberly, but it's not, so I don't know. It's definitely interesting. Every PowerPoint, I think, does at least 3 noises in it. It does reference Rocky, Adam, and Aisha, so that's cool. The original Morpher didn't do that at all. It just was the original Season 1 cast. So, I don't know. I still don't exactly get the appeal of this Morpher. I don't think it's like the worst thing, but it's definitely not something I'm very excited about. But obviously, I bought one, and I will, showcase it here on the channel and such like that because I'm a Lightning Collection completionist. I had to get it, but but maybe you like it more than I do. But basically, bottom line, it's out in Malaysia, it's out in the UK, and it's supposed to be out in the US sometime around July 15th, so within the next week from GameStop. So we'll see if that actually ends up happening. But speaking of things that are supposed to be out here soon, and actually going to be out here sooner than we thought, our next Pink Ranger item, our next Lightning Collection release, is happening pretty soon. So in a surprising turn of events, Hasbro Pulse sent out emails this past week to let people know who pre-ordered the Lightning Collection Pink Ranger helmet when they had limited quantities of it up on Hasbro Pulse, because you can also, it's a GameStop exclusive, but they put some of them up on Pulse, which is where I got mine because it was, $15 cheaper on Pulse than on GameStop, so it was definitely the better choice. But originally, Pulse had them claimed as October 1st releases for the Pink Ranger helmet on Pulse, while GameStop has them listed for July 15th. But it doesn't seem like that's really going to matter at this point, because Pulse sent out emails letting people know that, hey, we're going to have them ready to ship 3 months early, so look at that. So really, if you bought them from GameStop, you probably might as well just go ahead and switch over to Pulse. I think you can still get them on Pulse. You'll get them for $15 cheaper, and basically at the same time if GameStop actually does ship out around the 15th. I mean, Pulse actually might even be a couple days earlier. They didn't exactly specify when they were shipping them out. They just said, hey, basically get ready, we're about to take $85 from you. So, who knows when it's going to happen. It might have already happened by the time this video has come out. I saw someone comment on Facebook that they spoke to like a customer service representative, and they said something about like it's going to be happening on Monday, so which I guess does make sense. So potentially, if it doesn't happen during the course of this weekend, I would definitely expect it once like the work week kicks off again, for those to start being charged and shipped. So it's very possible by like a week from now, I will have a Pink Ranger helmet here. So I didn't expect that to be so soon, but I guess here we are. And, you know, back in the days where Pulse actually shipped things on time or even earlier than they said, because more, especially from the last year or so, they ship like right when they say, or like a lot later than everyone else. So, but yeah, so that is a thing. So, you know, your Pink Ranger Morpher is out somewhere in the world. The Pink Ranger helmet's about to come out, but it's just interesting that the stuff from the June 11th FanFest Friday is basically getting ready to start shipping out, while we don't have anything released from FanFest back in April, and nothing so far from the May 14th FanFest Friday have actually come out yet. So the timing on the announcements and shipments is very strange, but I guess that's just how it is with it. Speaking of upcoming Lightning Collection releases here, Tom Whalen has updated his website yet again to show off more box artwork for a number of the different releases. So he's been updating this pretty constantly at this point. I mean, he recently added Wave 9, Wave 8, the 2-packs and such like that. But he added 4 more pieces of artwork this past week. So he added the cel-shaded Pink Ranger artwork, which is basically just like the same one he did for the Zeo Pink Mighty Morphin Pink 2-pack, but with like more lines on it. So, you know, we can finally, when we get a good look at the two of them together, I'll put them up on the screen here at the same time. You can see that they're essentially the same thing, which of course they would be. And then we also have the Andros artwork. So while Andros was announced back in May, we still don't officially know where he's coming out yet, Target. But we also don't have an official release date for him yet, July 22nd. But, you know, it will be down the road that we get him sometime soon. But we have his artwork. So Andros looking good there. I think this is what, the third time? I think this is the third time that Tom's had to do like an actual like human head artwork after he did Rita. He also did Scorpina, and I think this is the third time, so with Andros. So, although I could be wrong, and I really hope I'm not, but I think that that's right. And then the last ones he released were the 2 different versions of the cog. So, you know, we have the regular cog head and the like mouth plate, eyes plate open with the gears and everything, eyes. So we have the 2 that you see on the 2-pack. So that's pretty cool there. So that's just the latest batch of Tom Whalen artwork. I think at this point, the only ones he hasn't released yet, if I'm keeping track correctly, is he hasn't released the SPD Blue A Squad, B Squad 2-pack artwork from last year, or the Red Tyrannosaurus Sentry, and the more recent metallic armors. And I think that might be getting this. Oh, and Wave 10. Oh yeah, duh. Wave 10 and Eye Guy, the stuff from last week. So yeah, so hopefully he continues to keep updating it like always. I really like when he does that. And yeah, there's 4 more. Speaking of last Friday's FanFest Friday reveals, we don't really have anything else to say about them. I mean, we covered pretty much everything about them last week, but we just have a tiny little things to say about them all. So first of all, if you have not pre-ordered them yet, you can still get all of Wave 10 on pretty much all the major retailers. As of right now, if you're looking for them on Amazon, just like what happened with the Versus packs, they have not decoded them on Amazon yet, so you're going to have to type in BLM Parsec, Val Mercury, CTH Venus, and BLM Neptune Cast to find them. So the code names that we've discussed here for literally 6 months, if you just type those into Amazon now, they will just show you Wave 10 because they have been officially revealed. So that's how you can find them on Amazon. That's how you can pre-order them there and such like that. Eye Guy, surprisingly, sold out on Hasbro Pulse. I don't really know how the hell that happened, especially since the monsters don't seem to be very desired figures. But Eye Guy is still available on Amazon. He's still available on Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store. You just right now can't get him on Pulse. But I imagine he'll be back on Pulse at some point. And perhaps it's just that, you know, since the monsters didn't do very well, maybe they lowered the quantities of how many that they made, or how many that Pulse got, or whatever it is. But I did not expect Eye Guy to be the one to sell out. I was thinking like Phantom, or maybe even like Zeo Yellow, since she completes the team. but definitely not Eye Guy, the one that I think barely even got a release as it is. So yeah, that's all the really updates from last week. Nothing too crazy on that front there. One thing that is just really interesting to talk about again from last week is the fact that we are going to be getting Figure 100 revealed during August. And that's just pretty exciting. I don't really have a lot of things to say about it. It's not really news. We did discuss that last week. But they did say how, the whole Power Month thing, each week he's going to get themed reveals, which is interesting. I don't know if that means, because this entire Power Month thing has been very confusing since the second that they announced it. So, we had heard before, the way we thought it was going to work was that each store, a couple of stores, were going to get capsules, Walmart, Target, Amazon Pulse, and GameStop. We saw Pulse's capsule, we saw GameStop's capsule with the metallic armors and the Pink Ranger stuff. But we knew that we were going to get a retro Walmart capsule, and then an unknown Target, and an unknown Amazon. And we still haven't had those last three revealed yet of what's in them. So I don't know if August is going to have a retro week, and then an Amazon, whatever their theme is, week, and then a Target week. Target seems weird because Target currently this month is doing this Target collector spot thing, which every day they've been announcing new pre-orders or bringing back old exclusives. A lot of it has just been a bunch of Funko Pops recently, but they did recently bring back the G.I. Joe classified Cobra Island figures that were really, really sought after Target and Hasbro completely dropped the ball on them last year. So I don't know if there's going to be any returning Lightning Collection stuff there. The only things that I could think that would be returning would be the Spectrums or Dino Charge Black. But I do think that there's a very strong likelihood, because they're going to be doing these Target collector reveals every weekday for the rest of July. And I would imagine that the closer we get to the end of the month here, one of them has got to be Andros. So, they haven't said, back when they revealed him, back in May, they had said that we're revealing this one a little early and that more details will come later. But we found out from listings and what store system he's in that he's going to be a Target exclusive, shipping to Target sometime around the 22nd of the month. So I would imagine that sometime around the 22nd, we'll probably start seeing him pop up in stores or on the Target site, just like Dino Charge Black did last year. I'm not necessarily expecting him to get pre-orders. I could be wrong, so don't take that as absolute fact. Also, don't take the date as absolute fact. Of course, that could change. Something can happen with shipping delays and stuff like that. There is always the possibility that he actually won't come out until August to tie in with Power Month better. But there is a very strong likelihood that he'll be one of these collector spot events. And just like Dino Charge Black, which happened last July, I think he's just going to show up and be like, hey, brand new figure you can buy right now. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in the back of your mind that probably within the next 2 weeks we'll probably just see Andros go up, and we'll have to deal with that. So, but yeah, who knows what's going to happen with Power Month's reveals. Obviously, we know we're getting the Andros and Astronema the Ecliptor and Astronema 2-pack announced in August. So that's definitely happening. That would take us up to 93 figures. So we would need 7 more after that. Right now, we need 9 more to be announced to hit number 100, and we know that we're getting figure 100 in August. So, the Andros and I almost did it again. The Ecliptor and Astronema 2-pack would take us to 93, and then technically the TMNT 7 figures that we have listings for would take us all the way to 100, but I don't think that they would jump that far, just like that. I think the Ninjetti tees from last week will be one of those figures, so that brings us to 94, unless that's a multi-pack of some kind. Which a lot of people keep saying that will be, or people are thinking that that's going to be Adam. It could be. I have no idea what Ninjetti figure that's going to be, but it's not I haven't seen any kind of definitive proof that it's going to be an Adam figure. I know some people think, oh, is that the Mars Adam code that disappeared from last year? Probably not. It's we know we have a Ninjetti listing from Toys R Us Canada. We don't know it's we don't know what its official code name is. Technically it could be Mars Adam, but we'll just have to wait and see whenever it is and whatever it is, whenever it gets revealed. So I don't really know. I don't know if it would just be Tommy or something, or Rocky, or I genuinely don't know. So we'll see what happens with that. If it's if the listings are to be believed, it's probably going to be another Target exclusive, which makes me think maybe Rocky, because the whole red thing that Target likes to do sometimes. But yeah, we'll just have to see what happens with that, but that would take us to 94, and so then who knows what we would get after that. I hope, and there definitely could be some more surprises that we don't have any listings for. Of course, obviously we have whatever the Pulse Con exclusive would be, that could take us to 95, or if it's like a 2-pack, 96 or something. So there's a bunch of different random combinations. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments below. What combination of listings do you think, or even just, what we do want as surprises, do you think could get us to figure 100? And who knows if they're stopping at 100? They just said that we're going to see figure 100 in August. They didn't necessarily say that we're going to see only up to figure 100. So we could stop at like 101 or 102 or something. I don't think it's going to go much higher than like 102 maybe at the absolute most. But I'm very intrigued to see what August is going to bring us, especially since we're getting Power Rangers reveals. Not necessarily Lightning Collection, but I feel like it's a pretty good stronghold that it would be every week of August. So that's going to be crazy, especially for this series. I mean, how am I even going to structure that? Because I'm pretty sure they're not all going to happen like on Saturdays. So we'll figure that out when we get there. But that's all I really have for Lightning Storm this week. I know the end in there was just kind of a bunch of rambling about Power Month and Collector Spot Target's July thing. But yeah, that's all I really got. I'd love to hear you guys from like I said, in the comments below about what you think is going to happen next month and all the stuff that I discussed here today. But of course, until next time, you can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or at LightningFigPR for all Lightning Collection news. And I will see you all next time on the next episode of Lightning Storm, the series where lightning always strikes twice.